Good to have you on State Affairs.
The pleasure is mine.
I saw you in Osun. You saw me too.
I did.
Did you expect the result of the election?
Well, I would say yes and no. Yes, because I quite understood that the people were tired by the experiences they have gone through in the hands of the administration in the states, going by what we hear and what we heard on the streets. So I felt that something was going to happen, but I didn't envisage that it was going to be the PDP that would be the beneficiary of that exasperation with the ruling class. I thought perhaps the candidate of the ADC, or perhaps by a remote stretch, the candidate of the SDP. Definitely not the dancing senator.
Why not the dancing senator?
Because, one, I still felt that the people have not gotten over their quote-unquote disdain for what your guest described as the locust years of the PDP. I felt that given what happened in Ekiti, there may be a ripple effect to reject the PDP by the people. And the senator, had also undergone a barrage of attacks, whether it's his qualification, educational qualification, his competencies, and then his seriousness as a person. Of course, his dancing did not, perhaps, I felt it was not something that people wanted to see.
It seems playing to the gallery wins election in Nigeria.
Well, populism wins elections virtually everywhere, There's a new wave of populism across the world. But people, especially the masses, those who actually go to vote, they want to have a feeling that the elites are in tune with them, have blood, flowing in their veins. And so when you have a senator who has no qualms to get on the groove on the dance floor with you and exchange banters and identify with the people, so it makes it easy.
So he has made a point.
Yes, he's made a point, like also other people before him. Fayose was known to hop on motorbikes, commercial motorbikes, and go to the market, buy what he wants, and come back. That resonated with the people. If you go elsewhere in Owerri, you had before Rochas, the governor of Imo State, was demystified. You had him, roasting corn by the roadside. We've also seen those who were eating corn by the roadside. So it was to play to the people's sentiments of camaraderie with the elites. Yeah.
In that case, do we need a new theoretical framework for Nigerian politics?
There's always been an attempt to have a grand or unifying theory for politics, but these things metamorphose every time. You really want to ask yourself, and Marx have had cause to ask that what drives the masses? Why would the masses, what he called the proletariat, with their numbers, why would they allow themselves to continue to be under the grapple hold of the bourgeoisie class? And then this question has remained unanswered over the generations with regards to elite politics and the masses' role in this. Yes, we need to understand what really drives the people. But I think, again, that it's not just about dancing. It's not just about that. But also look at bigger issues of political economy and then the issues of who had the means, to incentivize the voting public.
You've just hit the nail on the head. I observed the election, and I'm sure money were paid out. Can we say Adeleke matched the APC money for money?
Well, you were an observer apart from being a journalist, and I'm sure you saw what happened on that day. The Adelekes are not new, particularly to elite politics, in terms of elite economics in Nigeria, and so they had the means to match whatever was put on the table. I think what happened was that the APC underestimated, in my opinion, the senator. And they focused too much attention on the man in Ife and focused too much attention on the demographic in Ife and Osogbo. So they kind of didn't have time to unleash the powers of their campaign machinery on Ede. And so while they were sleeping, the senator and the PDP cleared up their stronghold, because what we noticed was the three main candidates holding strong to their areas of control. And so what you saw was the PDP holding strong to their stronghold, and then making inroads into a place like Ilesha.
Aregbesol's hometown.
Imagine, and then allowing the APC and this SDP to cancel themselves out. You were not going to make any inroads where Omishore is on ground. It's not going to happen.
Is this a lesson for Tinubu?
I think the people sent a clear-cut message to the Bodilion, and the message being that, listen, before now there had been, talks about Tinubu saying he was featured in Osun State. Don't also forget that the people had not, they reluctantly accepted the Rauf Aregbesola as their governor, a man who they felt was more attached to Lagos State than he was attached to Osun State. But then the man became very popular. He was in tune with the man on the streets. But then an attempt to now extend that dynasty, to bring another Lagos politician, what they call as the Ajele, to bring him down.
Somebody related directly to
Tinubu and other.
And even divided the party.
Yeah, he divided the party because we had the former SSG leaving the party for another party and taking away with him many loyalists in the party. So, but more importantly also, it's also the policies of the incumbent governor in the state. You cannot owe a salary arrears of 36 months and say this was not going to hurt you in a state that is largely a civil service state.
He made attempts to be a good boy towards the election. Money were paid out. Even the vice president came to dole out 10,000 naira. I thought that should have helped.
It was too little, too late. And I think that sometimes politicians and the elites think that the docility of the people can be overstretched. I think they saw through the whole thing and they decided to make a statement. The statement they made.
A strong statement?
A very strong statement indeed.
Can we say the APC has lost the election?
In my opinion, I don't think the APC will recover from this, because given the machineries that were at their disposal, given the opportunities they had to actually make a statement before now, the eyes of the world indeed is on the Osun rerun elections. I don't see any magic that is going to happen, unfortunately. Imagine any election had come in the history of this country. You had an election that had 1.6 million voters across 30 local governments with a vote margin of 353. It was going to be unconscionable for INEC to declare results, especially when you had about 3,000 votes that be cancelled. Do not forget that there is a lacuna in the law. And what INEC did was say, if there's in any place where there's violence or an attempt to disenfranchise the people, you cancel it. Now, that lacuna in the law has to be looked at, because all you need to do is to know where your opponent is doing very well. Go there, instigate something and cancel it.
Look, I was in a place like Urulu. You could see the tension, the number of security men around the axis. So I started asking myself, what is special about Urulu?
Urulu is special because perhaps they've started noticing the trend and decided to deploy more security around that area. Now, if we don't cover that lacuna in terms of what happens where people just deliberately orchestrate violence to ensure that whoever has the upper hand in an election, is interrupted. If you don't cover that lacuna, then you're going to have a problem.
Some would say INEC called for rerun in Osun. You even did an article giving a breakdown of past places where INEC has called for rerun. But the question many keep asking, how come INEC did not call for rerun for the National Assembly election in Kogi State?
The National Assembly election in Kogi State is a different ballgame. It's not the same as the elections in Osun State. We should bear in mind that while the Constitution is very clear on the conditions or parameters that is necessary to declare a winner for the governorship position, it was silent for the National Assembly elections.
Even the cases in court, right?
And the cases in court, so we really have to be careful how we make comments on that, so that we are not held in contempt. But these are two different scenarios, different issues entirely. However, what is happening in Osun State is, while the sentimental thing to do, the logical thing to do would be to say, hey, the PDP had won. But people should ask themselves this question. if you do that, we'll come back to a situation where this will be challenged, the cost will throw it out. We will waste money that is needed to do other things to come back to this situation. So why don't we apply the law the way it is envisaged and save ourselves all this trouble?
So what do you expect the APC to do with regard to the rerun?
I think the APC has been hit very hard. I think they realize that the game is over, especially given the dynamics that is happening right now. The PDP has moved in for their, what I call prodigal son in Omishori, who has never been known to be an apologist of the Bodilon dynasty. From what we're hearing, I think he perhaps wants to, make a deal with the PDP with regards to what happens on Thursday. Even if that doesn't happen, I do not see a situation where, within about just 3,000 votes that is at play now, that the APC will come and, in a free and fair situation, make a clearance of those votes. It's certainly not going to happen. I think it's over for the APC.
It is over.
It is over.
Is this a lesson for 2019?
It is a pointer to 2019. Look, nobody expected this to happen, not in the Southwest. Nobody expected that. And let me put this into context. The president had made all kinds of concessions to Tinubu simply because he wants to remain in play in the Southwest. For the president, the Southwest is Tinubu's for the taking. And Tinubu was just dealt a very painful blow by a dancing senator whose only criteria of governance is that he's the younger brother of a late senator.
And also a younger brother of a billionaire.
And a younger brother of a billionaire, but look, we've seen billionaires contest elections. We are talking about Tinubu here. Tinubu said he was richer than the state.
Is he not?
Perhaps he is.
Is this the time to deal squarely with Tinubu? Well, especially with regard to Lagos.
Does Ambode have the balls to look Tinubu in the face and dare him?
Obviously he doesn't.
No, obviously he doesn't.
You saw what he did at the launch of Jim Obia's book?
It was very disgraceful.
Disgraceful.
Yes, it was. And again, what he did during the rally, where he said after Tinubu has spoken, who is he to talk?
He has given up the battle.
I don't think that he has given. I think Ambode is being cautious and playing the power game very well. He wants to play up public sympathy to show Tinubu as the overbearing godfather who does not brook any dissent. And then when that happens, I don't see Ambode as just going to roll over. I think he's going to do something in terms of perhaps seeking to continue his ambition or aspiration in a different platform. If that happens, Tinubu will be in trouble in Lagos.
Tinubu will be in trouble.
Serious trouble.
Perhaps his time is up.
Is Tinubu's time up, given the fact that politics is local? For Tinubu's time to really be up, then there needs to be a replication of what happened in 2015 to a more perfect end. In 2015, Tinubu was almost hit hard. And then what happened was that you had non-indigenous of Lagos coming out. But you know what's going to happen this time? You're going to have, if the card is played right, both non-indigenous and even indigenous of Lagos who support the idea that Tinubu cannot continue to be a lord of the manor in Lagos. If that happens, Tinubu will have himself to blame.
Are you seeing this handwriting on the wall? Some feel that when push comes to shove, Tinubu will betray Buhari.
I think that I was of this opinion until we started seeing lots of leakages with regards to what is happening at Tinubu's company, the Alpha Beta. With the kinds of allegations we are seeing, obviously the powers that be have a dossier on him, which is making him say different things in public and different things in secret. Because when you listen to some of his acolytes and those his political lackeys, when you hear what they say and what the Tinubu says in public about the president, then you begin to ask the question, what is happening here?
A game is going on.
A game is going on. But I think Tinubu understands that if he got away with the PDP government with regards to the respect of the PDP government with the rule of law, he understands that this president is a president who knows the powers he has and knows how to use the power.
Will Buhari fall come 2019 from the indicators you are seeing?
Buhari is more likely to fall if the PDP gets their primaries right. But will they get it right?
Chima Amadi, thank you for featuring on State Affairs.